from the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, the nation is all set to experience the historic passing of the WAQF bill. Today it's time. Today it's time for Rahul to wake up and why everyone must reject street anarchy. At 9 p.m. tonight, the national message. The Modi 3.0 government is sending the most reformative WAQF bill. Ladies and gentlemen, the difference between how they did it in 2013 and how they're rectifying it now in 2025 is a study in contrast. It's great to see you again, ladies and gentlemen. The one person we are very concerned about, his behavior is such, you get more and more concerned about him. You wonder if everything is all right. Because something is not all right with Rahul Gandhi. He just went off to sleep in Parliament yesterday in the middle of the WAQF bill. I have it on record. The pictures are there. He just went off to sleep. Look at him. Ladies and gentlemen, Kiran Rijiju is speaking. Substantial points are made. And this 56-year-old has gone off to sleep. And he's just, everyone in the Lok Sabha on his side is embarrassed. You can see Kumari Selja sitting there. Rahul has just gone to sleep. And he slept his way through the whole debate. Viewers, now this is concrete proof. He's not in any situation, in any medical situation that he cannot stay awake in the middle of a big debate. But what this actually shows, that he also disrespects the entire process. He doesn't give a damn, ladies and gentlemen. This man behaved so badly. He went off to sleep yesterday. Now you must tell me what you think about these visuals of Rahul Gandhi sleeping. The Congress must do a press conference on it to explain why Rahul Gandhi slept during the WAQF amendment bill. He's a non-serious person, non-serious politician. And then he just went away after that. He went home. I don't know, to have a late dinner or something. And then he came back, ladies and gentlemen, lo and behold, in his pajamas. Just look at him. He walks out of Parliament, white t-shirt, and there's a pajama and chappals there. No problem wearing chappals, but how do you come walking into Parliament in your pajamas? Like you just walked out of bed, came out in your black pajamas. You don't give a damn for Parliament. You don't respect the process. You don't respect the Parliament of the country. You go off to sleep in Parliament. You turn up 2 hours later because you have to vote, walking in like you walked into some lounge bar and you walk in your pajamas. Viewers, we are concerned about Rahul Gandhi. Anyway, when he sits in Parliament, have you ever seen how he sits in Parliament? He sits like he's sitting in some lounge. He puts his hand up. He puts his hand up like this, walks in and out like he owns the place. Now that's a disrespectful body language, ladies and gentlemen. The man is entitled, sleepy, sleeps in Parliament, walks in his pajamas, sits like that, and then sometimes he starts winking at people. You saw the pictures of him winking. Strange behavior for a man who's 56 years old. Sometimes he gives flying kisses in Parliament when he feels like. The man has a problem. There he is, the flying kiss moment. So let me run the pictures once again so you do not think that anything is being made up. Visual 1, Rahul Gandhi goes to sleep last night. Just goes to sleep. Watch it. Visual 2, Rahul Gandhi goes off and little few minutes before the voting, he walks in his pajamas straight out of bed. You don't dress up like that in Parliament. Visual 3, he sits in an arrogant way with his hand up like he owns the place, like he's sitting in a lounge bar. The man is an embarrassment. He winks. He winks, ladies and gentlemen. He throws flying kisses. And then his mother thinks that one day my son will be treated and considered to be a serious politician. He's a non-serious person, Sonia Gandhi. He's a non-serious person. However, ladies and gentlemen, there are other concerns we have as well tonight. And that concern is about the approach of some hardline radical Muslim politicians like this fellow called Jalil. Imtiaz Jalil is his name. And he used to be a stringer for NDTV at one point of time from Aurangabad. Ladies and gentlemen, Imtiaz Jalil has given a soundbite. And that's the view of his party, the All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin. Sometimes I wonder what happened to Imtiaz Jalil. He used to be an okay guy earlier. Now he's become so radical, so intolerant, so radical in his views. He used to be a journalist for NDTV, contributing like a stringer there, ladies and gentlemen. And he's become so different now. He's gone on and said that we're going to go to the streets. So these people who can't even win any seats, these people who can't win MLA seats, MP seats, lose everywhere, a loser party, goes and says we're going to hit the streets. They're trying to blackmail us. The All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin, OAC and group are trying to blackmail us. Why? Is it because, as some people say, OAC has commercial interests in WAQF properties? Is it about money? I suspect it is. Imtiaz Jalil says we're going to hit the streets, and then goes on to say that we will not listen to the Supreme Court because we don't have faith in the Supreme Court. This is what he has said. Please hear this.
होते ही मोदी जी के पास जाके बैठ जा रहे हैं, अच्छी अच्छी पोस्ट ले रहे हैं और अपना काम चला रहे हैं। इनकी बोलनी और करनी के अंदर बहुत फर्क नजर आ रहा है। अब हो गया है, बिल पास हो गया है, एक लड़ाई रास्ते के ऊपर लड़ेंगे, दूसरी लड़ाई सुप्रीम कोर्ट के अंदर जाएंगे। लेकिन सुप्रीम कोर्ट से भी अब हमें बहुत ज्यादा उम्मीदें नहीं रही। अगर वो जज बैठा है जो रिटायरमेंट के बाद जिसे NHRC नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स कमीशन का चेयरमैन बनना है, या उसे राज्यसभा की सीट चाहिए, तो इंसाफ वहां पे भी नहीं मिलने वाला है। और अभी मोदी जी के कार्यकाल के अंदर ऐसे बहुत सारे सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजेस हैं जो रिटायरमेंट होते ही मोदी जी के पास जाके बैठ जा रहे हैं, अच्छी अच्छी पोस्ट ले रहे हैं और अपना काम चला रहे हैं।
Quite clear that the All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin and other radical Muslim leaders have decided to take the matter to the streets. Hence, it is a battle now for us between the rule of law and those who believe in the rule of the street. Ladies and gentlemen, as law-abiding citizens of the country, tonight, as we are all set to pass the WAQF bill, we must come together against people who want to challenge the law in this country, who want to violate the law in this country, and decide that the rule of the street must prevail. We must fight all of these people with all the reason and the force at our command. Let's debate.
जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 2।
After 13 plus hours of heated discussion in the Lok Sabha, the WAQF Amendment Bill was passed in the lower house with 288 MPs voting in favor of it.
जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हाँ गए, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना गए, मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में खंड 2।
A historic moment for Bharat. There is celebration across India. And today, the bill was tabled in the Rajya Sabha for the final litmus test.
Honorable Chairman, I move the motion for consideration of the WAQF Amendment Bill 2025 and the Musliman WAQF Repeal Bill 2025 as passed by Lok Sabha.
The very opposition bloc that led a campaign crying conspiracy over the bill stood out of arguments as their theories fell flat.
5 मार्च 2014 में कमेटी 13 में गठन हुआ और पारित हुआ दोनों सदनों में। फिर 2014 5 मार्च को, यानी कि 25 दिन पहले इलेक्शन एकदम नोटिफाई होकर के कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लगने ही वाला है, तब हनन फनन में उस समय का यूपीए सरकार ने देश का राजधानी दिल्ली के अंदर में सबसे प्राइम प्रॉपर्टी 123 प्राइम प्रॉपर्टी को डी नोटिफाई करके दिल्ली वक्फ बोर्ड को सौंप दिया है।
$50 years later, 100 years later, we will not be there. But the course of action which we take today, that is going to make India stronger, that we have to understand. और आपने 70 साल का एक्सपेरिमेंट करके देख लिया, वोट के पीछे पढ़ के देख लिया। 2013 का अमेंडमेंट ला करके भी 2014 में वहां बैठने के लिए मजबूर हो गए। इससे काम नहीं चलने वाला। और मैं इसमें आपको बताना चाहता हूं, जब मैं कहता हूं कि लिप सर्विस नहीं रियल सर्विस की है, तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि ट्रिपल तलाक तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बहुत पहले कह दिया था कि लगाना चाहिए। भारत की जनता लगाना चाहती थी। आपकी सरकार, यूपीए की सरकार 10 साल बैठी रही, आप नहीं लगा सके। क्या तकलीफ थी जो नहीं लगाई गई? क्या वो रेट्रोग्रेटिव स्टेप था ट्रिपल तलाक हटाना, या प्रोग्रेसिव स्टेप था? हमारे नासिर साहब कहते हैं कि we would not like to remain second grade citizen. You made the Indian Muslim ladies second grade citizens. You made it.
Myths busted, narratives fact checked. But there remains one faction that continues to reject the common will. The All India Muslim Personal Law Board has threatened street anarchy if WAQF bill is passed.
ये एंड नहीं है, ये खात्मा नहीं है, बल्कि हमारी जंग की, हमारे आंदोलन की यहाँ से शुरुआत है। हम देशव्यापी अभियान छेड़ेंगे इस बिल के खिलाफ। ये बिल डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी है, ये बिल अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है, ये बिल एक पर्टिकुलर समुदाय को टारगेट कर रहा है, ये बिल कम्युनल एजेंडे के तहत लाया गया है।
While Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin resolved to move Supreme Court against the reform, the threats of disruption almost a throwback to the anti-CAA and NRC protests.
अब हो गया है, बिल पास हो गया है। एक लड़ाई रास्ते के ऊपर लड़ेंगे, दूसरी लड़ाई सुप्रीम कोर्ट के अंदर जाएंगे। लेकिन सुप्रीम कोर्ट से भी अब हमें बहुत ज्यादा उम्मीदें नहीं रही। अगर वहां पर अच्छे ईमानदार अगर जज बैठे हैं और वो सुन रहे हैं तो इंसाफ की उम्मीद है। अगर वो जज बैठा है जो रिटायरमेंट के बाद जिसे NHRC नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स कमीशन का चेयरमैन बनना है, या उसे राज्यसभा की सीट चाहिए, तो इंसाफ वहां पे भी नहीं मिलने वाला है।
Clearly, an antidote to appeasement politics, the biggest reform of 2025 has torn apart the Shaheen Bagh 2.0 brigade.
यहां एक सदस्य ने तो कह दिया, एक सदस्य ने कह दिया माइनॉरिटीज कानून को स्वीकार नहीं करेगी। क्या धमकाना चाहते हो भाई? संसद का कानून है, सबको स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा। स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे मतलब क्या है? कैसे बोल सकते हैं कोई हम कानून को स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे? एक कानून भारत सरकार का है, हर एक पर बंधन करता होगा और इसको स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा।
On our powerful panel tonight, I have Kanchan Gupta, a senior advisor in the government, with us in the studio. Tuhin Sinha of the BJP, Zafar Sareshwala, former Chancellor of the Maulana Azad National Urdu University, Shyam Prasad Mika of the Congress, Pulla Rao backs the DMK, Atikur Rahman is an Islamic scholar, and Tala Amir Rashidi will be joining us in a bit. I want to start with the pictures of Rahul, who went to sleep yesterday. So, you know, we are all concerned the way he went off to sleep yesterday. Are you seeing the pictures there, Kanchanda? You see him sleeping there? Should I just have two people on the screen zoom in a little bit more so we can see how he's gone off to sleep? Not this one, the previous. This is the pajama visual. And then he comes in his pajamas. Yeah, pajamas there. He comes in pajamas in Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, during the WAQF debate. Straight out of bed. Right? And then he goes to sleep inside Parliament sometime earlier. Play the pictures, viewers. Earlier visuals, please, producers. Kiran Rijiju is speaking. That's when the camera goes on to him and he's completely gone. He's dozed off. He's dozed off. Kanchanda?
Yeah, he's gone asleep and then he leaves before the Manipur vote.
He leaves during he goes to sleep. And then what happened?
He left before the Manipur debate because, I mean, you know, the point is he's been saying so much about Manipur that this happened, that happened, ye karega, wo karega. He didn't even wait for the vote. I mean,
but this was very bad. I think the sleeping was, you know, openly just, and everybody kept looking around him,
and
but they couldn't wake him
slippers.
up, huh? And then the bathroom slippers, he came back and in Parliament in bathroom slippers and pajamas. Show that visual now, please, please. You see that, Tuhin? The bathroom slippers and the and the pajamas, yeah.
Well, the behavior is cringe-worthy.
Terrible.
It's cringe-worthy unless he's unwell, which I don't think he was. The behavior is cringe-worthy. It only shows his repeated disdain for parliamentary proceedings. At times he has winked, at times he has forcibly hugged people.
Yeah.
And now yesterday he dozed off at a very important juncture when the future of the country was being decided and, through a very important vote. So it just shows his repeated contempt, his repeated disdain for parliamentary proceedings. And I don't understand why such a person should continue to be in parliament.
Yeah. The sleeping was particularly your comment on that, Shyam. The fact that he went to sleep yesterday in Parliament, Lok Sabha.
No, first of all, you don't dole out stuff and say them as facts, okay? Now the simple thing is, what are we debating? So he came in a pajama, he dozed off, he came in bathroom slippers. So why are you so fascinated with Rahul Gandhi?
No, I'm just observing this.
Why don't you talk about Congress party, no?
There's nothing to talk about Congress party. It doesn't exist now. Anyway, I want to go to the serious issue.
Okay,
Atikur Rahman, my comment is to you. I also see tonight, 1 minute, Atikur Rahman, my question is to you, and Tuhin can debate this with you, that now there are these threats by these Muslim leaders that we are going to take this matter to the streets. There'll be a street war. We won't accept the law. We don't believe in the Supreme Court. We're going to take the matter to the streets. Which streets? Why on the streets? You don't believe in parliament, you don't believe in the parliamentary process, legislative process.
It will be constitutional.
Yeah.
It will be constitutional, it will be peaceful, and those people who are challenging the places of worship act in the Supreme Court, you must ask them why they are not respecting a parliamentary law called the
I just want you to explain this threat that Muslim groups are giving and some Muslim leaders are giving and some pro-Muslim leaders are giving, saying we are going to take it out on the streets. Can you explain what they mean by that? Sadko pe jayenge.
When the deaf governments on the power of their brute majority, they try to undermine the constitution, they need to teach the street lesson, which will be constitutional and peaceful. This is
what is a street lesson? 1 minute. Look at the provocative language. Tuhin, did you hear that? A street lesson. Like the one in Jahangirpuri. 56 people died. Intelligence Bureau officer Ankit had his body cut into various parts.
It will be with the
multiple stab wounds. His body thrown into a ditch. That's the street lesson. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to be very cautious tonight. There has been a parliamentary process. We are on the eve. We are on the eve of this parliament this bill being passed in the Rajya Sabha through a due legislative process, and we as a nation are being blackmailed by people like Atikur Rahman who are saying they're going to hit the streets. We will not be blackmailed. We will not be blackmailed.
This WAQF amendment bill.
Saying that our government will be a government by consent.
Arnab, this WAQF amendment bill, which is going to be an act very soon, is such a massive watershed moment for the country that it has actually reduced the opposition parties to the streets already. The kind of language which these people have used, you may have missed some of the comments from the opposition MPs throughout yesterday when the debate was going on. Gaurav Gogoi actually rooted, if you follow his speech, he actually rooted for namaz, to be read out on the roads. Kalyan Banerjee said that if Section 40 is taken out, it doesn't make sense for the Waqf board to exist, which in a way gave it very clearly, which in a way revealed their true intentions, that the only reason for the Waqf board to exist was to facilitate land aggrandizement. And today, if you heard our Honorable President, Party President, JP Nadda ji, some 4.5 acres of land have been recently claimed by Waqf in Wayanad. Why did Rahul Gandhi not take it up? Repeated land acquisitions, repeated lands, there are repeated instances of Christian lands belonging to Christians being claimed by the Waqf. Why did Rahul Gandhi not take it up? Because these people were direct facilitators, and today they realize that their loot has been completely ended. But like Honorable Home Minister made it very clear on the floor of House, there is no scope for street protest this time. So you dare to, indulge in it, and you will see how law takes its own course. Please don't go that route. There is no, that option does not exist for you this time.
No, but they are threatening. We cannot, no, Kanchan Gupta, that's all right. But see, first of all, once again, people are saying, can you show the pictures of Rahul Gandhi's pajamas again? Listen, I don't think it's an important issue, but it is again something which has not gone unnoticed. And ladies and gentlemen, Rahul Gandhi went to sleep at 11:59, flat asleep. Divide the screen into two parts, ladies and gentlemen. On the left, Rahul Gandhi dozing. On the right, Rahul Gandhi in bathroom slippers and pajamas entering parliament. This has to be seen. It's important, not metaphorical, that people need to see the attitude of a person who doesn't deserve to be a leader of the opposition in our country's parliament. What a shame. Bathroom slippers, pajamas, going to sleep. What an absolute disappointment. What a non-serious politician, ladies and gentlemen. And now, Kanchan Gupta, my question to you is this. That they have tried the same script, Kanchan Gupta, during CA, during NRC and during 370. They said it is unconstitutional. They said CA is anti-constitution. It has been a law which has been made on the basis of religion. Rahul Gandhi said at that time that executive power has grave implications for national security when the abrogation of 370 happened. And OAC was also against the abrogation of 370. He says it's a violation of constitutional morality. At that time too, they threatened to hit the streets. Now, how do we respond when they say we'll hit the streets, Kanchan Gupta? How do we respond?
Arnab, a very quick recount of this whole thing of demonstrating street power.
Yeah.
It actually goes back to 1946. The direct action day of which Jinnah called was the first demonstration of street power to show that we shall have our way. Again, then you fast forward. 1972, Indira Gandhi brought the adoption bill, which would have allowed everybody, including Muslims, to adopt children. The mullahs took to the streets and there was such widespread violence and threat of rioting that the bill had to be withdrawn. And in 1973, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board was formed by mullahs as an organization to stop government from enacting any law to do with Muslims. They say we block the roads,
Kanchan. Yes. They're saying we block the roads.
Block the roads.
They say we are going to teach Narendra Modi's government a lesson, we'll block the roads.
When Shah Bano happened, to protest the Shah Bano judgment, they called for a boycott of Republic Day, they called for lights off, etc., etc. We see the same thing during CAA, the Shaheen Bagh protests.
Yeah,
we see it in the form of the riots, and then again we see it in this whole case about 370 you have mentioned, and now about the WAQF Act. Now, till 1954, there was no WAQF Act. What existed was Jinnah's WAQF law, which was drafted by Jinnah on the demand of the British, who wanted to create, contribute to the separate identity.
But now they're saying you got a brute majority. You
got a 1954. Then again,
they say we're going to fight you on the streets. I want a resolution on this, because I don't know, viewers, are you willing to be blackmailed? Daily, on a daily basis, all of you law-abiding citizens are being blackmailed by people like Asaduddin Owaisi, Rahul Gandhi and Atikur Rahman, who say we're going to hit the streets. Are you afraid? Is anyone afraid, Kanchan Gupta?
No, I think that this...
Are people going to take them on? Because 100 days, 55 lives, 581 people injured during CAA protests.
No, but Arnab, you're forgetting 370 also. They had said, we will take to the streets, we'll do this, we'll do that. What happened? So
they say we'll take 1 lakh people on the streets. 1 lakh people will take them on the streets.
This whole thing about street power, it is over. That chapter is closed. And it's something which I want to also add.
How will the government deal with it
if the majority Muslims do not want to be led by people who believe in violence, who believe in street power. They just want to get on with their lives. So the whole thing of a street demonstration of street power is not going to work. It will just rile people and it will further alienate the non-Muslim from the Muslim.
Mr. Gupta, when in West Bengal, Mamta Didi brings some law which is not, BJP does not want it. What does the BJP does? They do not block the streets. They do not protest.
Louder.
Are they unconstitutional? Are their protests violent? No, how can you say that the people don't have a right
in
to
West
protest?
Bengal, in
Arnab,
West Bengal, the BJP.
This time it is सरफरोशी की
अरे भैया कुछ तो सुन लो
हमारे दिल में है, देखना है जोर कितना बाजुए कातिल.
Yes, we have been seeing it since 1946.
सरफरोशी
As a
होकर
Bengali,
रहेगी.
I know what happened in 1946. The street power which you used in Calcutta in 1946. So please do not threaten me or scare me about your street power.
Present time, sir. Why are you go to 1940s and 46 and Jinnah and all? You talk to the
Let's talk
present
about
day
the
Tamil
CAA
Nadu
protest.
and West Bengal.
Let's
If
talk
BJP
about the
has any
CAA
problem with the
protest.
government there,
You burned
don't
trains.
they protest?
Sir, when the CAA protests were happening, you have burned trains, you have burned stations, you have killed people, 56 dead in Delhi, and despite that, 58, and despite that,
Come out of your HMV record.
CAA happened.
Come out of your HMV record, sir.
CAA happened.
Come out of your
And
HMV record, sir. With due respect to your age.
Just like CAA,
You are a very respected
the
fellow,
WAQF Act
sir.
is also going to happen. Be under no illusion. Your days
why are
of
you
street
sticking
power
to the
are
CAA
over.
and this and that? I am asking you a simple question, my dear senior fellow, that if there is any problem in Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, wherein the BJP governments are not there and the BJP wants to protest, don't they come on the street?
If you want
don't
to protest,
they block the street?
Yeah, but we understand
Don't
what
they
you're
create
trying to say. Of
problems for the common
they do.
people?
1 minute. You want to respond to that, may I?
This kind of equivalence does not work.
No, let me tell you. It's not
on a
equivalence.
political issue,
It's dangerous.
please protest.
No, it's dangerous.
But
And
what you are doing is you are using that protest as a cover to try and block an act of Parliament of India, which is a sovereign authority of India.
Let me say it more clearly. I don't mince my words. What Atikur Rahman is trying to say, in 1 minute, what Atikur Rahman is trying to say is that he's trying to say that we are going to provoke Muslims and Muslims will come on the roads. यही कहने की कोशिश है और कोई दो राय नहीं है, इसमें इधर उधर करने की जरूरत भी नहीं है. जफर सरेशवाला हमारे साथ है, हम सब इंटेलिजेंट लोग हैं, हम समझ रहे हैं आपका इशारा क्या है. आपका इशारा है कि हमारी जमीन, हमारी प्रॉपर्टी, हमारे करोड़ों के संपत्ति, हमारी रेंट, ओवैसी ब्रदर्स का कितना पैसा, शान और शौकत, कितना और आपके बॉस, आपके अपने HMV की बात कही. आप किसके HMV हैं? आप किसके HMV हैं? Have I forgotten that the first time you came on television? Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen, let me expose you. Let me expose you, Atiq. Let me expose you, Atiq. Atikur Rahman. Ladies and gentlemen, ये Atikur Rahman जिनको आप TV पे देख रहे हैं right now. You know who he is? He says he's an Islamic scholar, but do you know his real identity? His real identity is that the first time he came on television,
I am an Indian.
Was as a supporter of the pro-terrorist
Indian,
Zakir Naik. I brought him on television. I have made the mistake. I brought him to public life because I brought him as a supporter of Zakir Naik.
Who are you to
He was a
describe?
Zakir Naik supporter. He's a Zakir Naik fan who's raising questions to others. Your Zakir Naik does not have the guts to come back to India. Zakir Naik does not have the guts to face me. Let Zakir Naik face me, no? Can Zakir Naik face me? What are you talking about? Now listen to me.
No.
First of all, you gather the courage to speak against Zakir Naik, then blackmail the country. Why are you blackmailing my country? Why are you blackmailing Bharat? You are saying that you will bring Muslims out on the streets to break the law. You are saying that you will overthrow the duly elected government of Narendra Modi. You are saying that a government elected by 1.4 billion people will be removed by 1,000 goons on the streets. It will not happen. Don't threaten the country. You represent nobody.
The washing machine of the BJP.
Forget washing machine. You are Zakir Naik's washing machine. You are a washing machine of terrorism. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Zafar Sareshwala, the issue is of blackmail. The issue is 100% the issue is only one of blackmail. What you are trying to say, मैं समझ गया. You are saying that, Arnab, if the law prevails, if Parliament passes the WAQF bill, if Rajya Sabha as per due process passes the WAQF bill, you will block the roads of Delhi, you will create violence, you will kill 55 people, you will injure 581 people, you will bring 10,000 people on the streets and say that their voice matters. And the 1.4 billion people of this country who took part in an election and Narendra Modi became Prime Minister after election does not matter. क्या आप करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं? What are you trying to do?
Your words, not my words.
Hope. These are your words. Now you got scared. You should be locked up, Atikur Rahman, for threatening war against the country.
Your words into my
You should be locked up for trying to wage war against the country.
If I said our protest will be peaceful and constitutional, why are you saying that we will be creating violence? That means
because I
create violence.
Okay, Zafar
You
Saresh.
are in favor of violence.
No, you have to respond to this. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Dog whistle the people of India and your viewers.
This whole thing of peaceful. You know, what you are threatening is we will give yet another call for direct action. Like Arnab says, Muslims will come out in the streets and then there will be violence and we will say, well, this happened.
Sir, I can understand your
all till now, every act of violence was preceded by statements saying it will be peaceful.
Top band. Change the top band. One minute.
Zafar Jinnah ne bhi kaha tha ki it will be peaceful.
Present circumstances.
Jinnah had also said it will be peaceful.
Why are you going to Jinnah?
Because the words are the same.
Why are you obsessed with Jinnah?
The language and the words are the same.
Okay, now, 1 minute, just 1 minute. The 1 minute.
The politics, the words, the attitude.
We have live visuals.
The approach.
Show the visuals of Parliament speaking. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to Parliament for a minute for 30 seconds. Milind Deora is speaking right now from the Shiv Sena. I'm back in 30 seconds.
मुंबई में आपको नजर दिखेगी. हमारे जो माइनॉरिटी अफेयर्स मंत्री है, मेरे खास मित्र किरण रिजिजू जी, मुस्लिम समाज के सभी
लाइव पार्लियामेंट
जो सब कम्युनिटीज है उनके साथ बहुत अच्छे उनके संबंध है. शियाज, सुन्नीज, दाऊदी बोहराज, आगा खानीज, जिसको हम इस्माइली शियाज कहते हैं, एंड मेरी इनके साथ बहुत इंटरेक्शन होती है. मैं आज विश्वास के साथ कह सकता हूं कि मुस्लिम समाज और खास करके जो नौजवान मुस्लिम समाज, वो एक ही बात कहते हैं कि हमें तुष्टीकरण नहीं चाहिए, हमें सशक्तिकरण चाहिए. वी वांट एम्पावरमेंट, वी डोंट वांट अपीजमेंट. उन्हें शाबानो.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Milind Deora. Milind Deora, Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament of the Shiv Sena, speaking in Parliament. Now, I want to bring in Zafar Sareshwala. Zafar Sareshwala, these people are saying, "Hum sadko mein utar aayenge," indicate kar rahe that Muslims will come on the streets. And my question is the Ajmer Dargah chief, Haji Syed Salman Chishti ji, not a Muslim? Is the chairman of the All India Sufi Sajda Nasheen Council not a Muslim? Is Syed Nasiruddin Chishti not a Muslim? Is Zafar Sareshwala not a Muslim? Is Zafar Sareshwala not a Muslim?
Arnab, see, my advice, of course, yes, you can have a peaceful demonstration within the framework of constitution, yes, but it will not work. See, demonstration and agitation don't work at all. I've seen this for years. It will just give you some, light in the media. You will be seen as some hero. Right. But ultimately, if you want to portray something to the government, Muslims now, because this was a foregone conclusion, right at the outset, because this government had a brute majority. And this is going to be passed. It was cleared in Lok Sabha yesterday. Today it will be done in Rajya Sabha. It will be a law. So if at all you want something, of course, yes, you have Supreme Court and you have courts. But the only thing which will work now is that within the Muslim community, there should be a group of intellectuals, businessmen, educationists. They directly approach the government of the day, the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, and you make your point to them. They are, after all, running the country. They are not in business of hating Muslims or loving Hindus. Their job is to govern. And I've done this in Gujarat and even now. Lot of things I bring to them outside the glare of media. And they listen. So I think the best way forward for the Muslims should be open a process of dialogue with the government and put your point across. That's the main thing. And two things which I need now, that the government now should see that the WAQF is judicially managed with honesty and integrity. It is what? It is about managing assets. So the government of India now needs to put fund manager, asset manager, who know how to do. Because I'm here in Abu Dhabi, I've been interacting with lot of WAQF in this part of the world. And Arnab, you'll be surprised. The WAQF in this part of the world are managed not by anybody else, but people who have that capacity, that, who can manage assets. So I think now is the time, let's draw the line, bring those people in WAQF who can create monetization of WAQF assets, who can create wealth out of WAQF, who can create money streams out of WAQF, and the main purpose for which WAQF is that it takes care of the poor, the downtrodden, the widow, the
most important thing is the most important thing is, and I feel quite bad for people like Talha Ahmed Rashidi who's joining us tonight. You see, the most important thing is that Muslims are divided. There's a huge division among Muslim community. Muslims are not united on the issue. In fact, 99% of Muslims are for WAQF. 1% of Muslims, only 1% of Muslims like Atiq, Muslims like Talha Ahmed Rashidi, only 1% of Muslims, that also rich Muslim men. Rich Muslim men are wanting the status quo to continue. 99% don't care because they are the ones who are being exploited. Talha Ahmed Rashidi will come here and try and keep one group of Ashrafs very happy because they are the rich, powerful Muslims, entitled Muslims will be very happy. Then he'll go to them and say, Talha Ahmed Rashidi, you are muted. He will
go through Bihar's development today. You will see that Bihar, Pasmanda MLA of JDU from Bihar has resigned today.
No point looking for one MLA somewhere. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. One MLA. अरे Muslims are not with you. अरे Muslims are against you. Muslims are against you. Okay. Kanchanda.
Stop dividing Muslims in the name of Pasmanda.
Muslims are divided on the issue. Muslims divided हैं. तो हम क्या करें?
I know.
अरे भाई, that man contested elections. He got 999 votes.
Okay, what is he saying? Let's hear.
British policy of divide and rule. Now you want to uproot the policies of the British exclusions among the Muslims. There isn't anything called Ashraf and Pasmanda among the Muslims.
अरे अभी तक 1 minute. Talha, listen to me. Talha, listen to me. Talha, don't be scared of me. Listen to me. Yeah, I'll tell you. अभी तक, अब मेरी बात सुनिए. आपने क्या नादानी में अभी तक भूल गए पसमंदा मुसलमानों के बारे में, मुस्लिम महिलाओं के बारे में, आगा खानियों के बारे में, बोरा के बारे में, और जितने मुस्लिम हैं उनके बारे में भूल गए. पॉकेट में पैसा आप लोगों ने जब डाला, पॉकेट में जब पैसा आप लोगों ने डाला, मेरी बात सुन लीजिए, और आपको अटैक करूंगा मैं, और करूंगा आपको अटैक करूंगा आपको. आप धमकी किसको दे रहे हैं?
Give me a single reason कि पसमानदा मुसलमानों को क्या फायदा होगा. I challenge you on the national TV. Give me a single reason कि पसमानदा मुसलमानों को इस वक्त बिल के अमेंडमेंट से क्या फायदा होगा. I challenge the whole panel on your right. कि क्या फायदा होगा.
I will only tell him one point because he has challenged me. No, he has challenged me, so I have to say one thing. I will tell you.
You people,
can I?
You will not acknowledge, but let me give you just 2 sets of data. Your Pasmanda Muslim women have been the biggest group of beneficiaries under the government's micro loan scheme known as Mudra. Your Pasmanda men have been the biggest group of beneficiaries of the Prime Minister's Awas Yojana.
Come on, answer that.
No, 1 minute. Kanchanda, let me just take over here. I want to make a point here. Listen, Tuhin. 1 minute. 1 minute. Listen to me. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Talha Ahmed Rashidi. मैं बहुत डायरेक्ट सवाल पूछता हूँ. A few days back I asked a question. And let me tell you what my question was. I said, 1 minute, just one minute. Tohin, coming to you. I said today India is 82% Muslim or so, 82% Hindu. We are a secular country. And I asked that if India was 80% Muslim, would we be a secular country? सबने कहा hypothetical सवाल पूछ रहे हो. मैंने hypothetical नहीं पूछा. मैंने पूछा कि if India was 80% Muslim, would we be an Islamic country or a secular country? कोई की नहीं कह पाया we would be a secular country. I don't know why. Second point. शांत हो जाओ. Second point. दिस इज डेमोक्रेसी। डेमोक्रेसी में जो आप ब्रूट मेजोरिटी कहते हो, है ही ब्रूट मेजोरिटी, बिकॉज मेजोरिटी मिली है थ्रू द इलेक्शन, थ्रू द बैलेट।
नहीं, ब्रूट मेजोरिटी नहीं,
ये हजार लोग
तो
ये ब्लैकमेल कर रहे हैं, कहते ब्रूट मेजोरिटी नहीं मानेंगे, सड़कों पे उतर आएंगे। नहीं, what's the fitting answer to that?
Arnab, how ironical, how
Tuin is on the debate. Tuin is on the debate. Only Tuin is on the debate right now. Tuin is on the debate. Versus Tuin.
How ironical, how ironical is it? If you remember last year they used to mock us by saying you have a 1/3 prime minister, 1/3 prime minister. आज ये कह रहे हैं कि ब्रूट मेजोरिटी इसलिए पास करते हैं। ब्रूट मेजोरिटी की वजह से ये पास नहीं हुआ है। ये पास इसलिए हुआ है क्योंकि दो रीजनल पार्टी ने राष्ट्र हित में काम करने का निर्णय लिया है। JDU and TDP decided to work with us in national interest. Even Rahul Gandhi had that option. Rahul Gandhi also had that option to redeem himself, from the blunder of 1986, from the Shah Bano blunder. But the Congress Party chose to prove itself to be even more radicalized, even more regressive than the Muslim League. It's about the choices you make. And Arnab, today on your show, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the greatness of these two parties, JDU and TDP, who decided to work in national interest along with us. Unlike the radical groups like RJD, unlike the radical
I understand that you are obsessed with Nehru and Indira Rahul. Get out of the Nehru obsession and give me...
Finally, since he's asking me how does it benefit Pasmanda Muslims, let me tell you that today almost 10,000 cases have been filed by poor Muslims against the WAQF board. And what are these charges? The charges are about misinformation, misuse.
Where is the empirical data? कहाँ से बोल रहे हैं आप? Where is the empirical data? Where is the evidence? 10,000 poor Muslims. कैसे पता आपको?
Which includes leaders from the Congress Party, particularly in Karnataka. Almost 10,000 poor Muslims have filed legal cases against
80% of the Indian population is poor because you are feeding them. You are feeding them. You are giving them 5 kg ration. How could you categorize 10% Muslims? How could you categorize? How have you come to that?
People on your show, Arnab, Atikur Rahman and Tala are the real enemies of Muslims apart from Rahul Gandhi.
Everyone knows who is the real enemy of Muslims. Where's the empirical data? 80% of Indians are being fed by 5 kg ration. 80% of Indians are...
आपको क्या India? Every time you speak against India,
5 kilo ration दे रहे हो.
Are you an Indian first or a Muslim first?
Arnab,
are you an Indian first or I am an Indian first, then a Hindu? What are you?
Be practical, be rational.
Are you an Indian first or a Muslim first?
Muslim data. Where has he got the 10,000?
I am a Hindu after being an Indian. I am an Indian first and then a Hindu. What are you?
What question is this, Arnab?
It's a very relevant question. You should say. You should say I am first an Indian and then a Muslim.
Ask this BJP spokesperson, where has he got the data of 10,000 poor Muslims?
Answer my question.
Come on, ask him the question.
Okay, now viewers, I'm bringing Pulla here. Pulla, see.
These are cases
Pulla, this time people will not take it lying down. No, this time बहुत हो गया. Two in 1 minute. Two in.
You conveniently ignore those
क्या वो आप तय करोगे? पहनोगे क्या? आप तय करोगे? ऐसे नमाज पढ़ोगे? आप तय करोगे? आप यहाँ से चलने नहीं दे रहे हो? आपको मुसलमानों की
सड़कों में नमाज की बात हो रही है, कोई किस नहीं कह रहा.
पसमानदा मुसलमानों का रिजर्वेशन आर्टिकल
अभी पसमानदा मुसलमान अचानक याद कैसे आ गए आपको?
आप बताइए ना आर्टिकल
अभी अचानक पसमानदा मुसलमानों याद कैसे आ गए? अभी तक तो पसमानदा मुसलमानों के बारे में कुछ सवाल नहीं किया आपने. The पसमानदा, listen to me, the पसमानदा Muslim Samaj, the पसमानदा Muslim Mahaj strongly supports the WAQF bill, calling it beneficial for 85% of Muslims in India. Speaking before the JPC, the group said that the amendment challenges the illegal occupation of WAQF properties by Ashraf Muslims. आप सब अशराफ मुस्लिमों के लिए बोल रहे हैं.
ये डेटा आया कहां से?
Are you अशराफ मुस्लिम? क्या आप अशराफ मुस्लिम हैं?
मैं अशराफ हूं, पसमानदा हूं, that doesn't matter.
नहीं, मैं पूछ रहा हूं अशराफ है कि पसमानदा है कि क्या है, बताइए ना मुझे.
Why don't you tell me your caste?
आप हर दिन मुझे पूछते रहते हैं.
What's your caste?
मैं आपको कह रहा हूं आप अशराफ है.
Which गोत्र
are you अशराफ?
आपका गोत्र क्या है?
आप अशराफ हैं?
आपका गोत्र क्या है?
आप अशराफ हैं?
आपका कास्ट क्या है?
आपके क्या? आप शिया है, सुन्नी है, अशराफ है, क्या है?
मैं क्यों आपको बताऊं?
क्यों नहीं बता रहे? मगर थ्रेटन करेंगे कि सड़कों में उतर आएंगे, सड़कों में उतर आएंगे।
बताता हूं, मैंने बताया
ये कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, सड़कों में उतर आएंगे। क्या क्या कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे, इस बार सड़कों में उतर आएंगे।
विधानसभा अध्यक्ष ने इस्तीफा दे दिया। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के
देखिए आप
98% of the people are with me.
उनसे पूछिए,
केवल 18
you tell them they have lost. अरे आप हार चुके हो,
आज इनके
you are a loser side, आप क्या कर रहे हो? आप हार चुके हो। The real Muslims have won.
इसीलिए ये मानसिक संतुलन खो बैठे हैं ये लोग।
गुमान मत होना, चिराग सबके बुझेंगे, हवा किसी की नहीं है।
क्या बात है?
तुम खुशगुमान मत होना, चिराग सबके बुझेंगे, हवा किसी की नहीं है। आज
आप हार चुके ना, आपने कोशिश की, अभी क्या करेंगे बोलिए?
उसके बाद बौद्ध होंगे, उसके बाद जैन होंगे।
राहुल गांधी भी भाग गया पार्लियामेंट से। राहुल गांधी आपका नेता भाग गया पार्लियामेंट से।
हर व्यक्ति आपकी तरह नहीं पहुंच पाएगा। इमरान प्रतापगढ़ी ऐसी शायरी कर करके सोनिया गांधी को इंप्रेस करके राज्यसभा पहुंच गया। हर व्यक्ति ऐसे नहीं पहुंच पाएगा। फैक्ट पे बात करिए, फैक्ट पे बात करिए। आज आपके पास फैक्ट्स बाकी नहीं है।
आप दीजिए एम्पिरिकल डेटा ना, कहां से 10,000 लोगों की आपने बात की?
आपको नेता बनाने की जिम्मेदारी भी हमारी है। आपको नेता बनाने की जिम्मेदारी भी हमारी है क्या? हमने सबका साथ, सबका विकास फॉलो किया। अर्नब, इन ऑल द सोशल वेलफेयर स्कीम्स टुडे द कवरेज ऑफ Muslims is to the tune of 25 to 33%. 25 to 33%. But the responsibility of creating leaders out of the community is not on us unless you decide to join the party and support
मुसलमानों को नहीं दे पाए,
support the party.
मुस्लिम हित में आप काम कर रहे हैं।
पहली बात,
मुस्लिम वुमेन को
now will you be quiet for a minute?
Look at the mentality.
Will you? No, Twin, there's nothing to see. I want to tell him one thing. 1 minute. हर चीज पे Twin 1 minute. You know what upsets me, Kanchanda? What upsets me, Pulla, for these people like Atiq, like Tala Amir Rashidi, हाँ, हर बार ये बोलते रहते हैं everything is about religion, my right to religion, my freedom of religion. अरे बाबा, Pulla, you're an intelligent, well-read man. You please tell them that WAQF board is like a company. It is not religious. Be quiet 1 minute. It is not a representative body of Muslims. It's like a company.
Practice of Muslims, and that is being given by the
It is a statutory body. Do you even understand the law? Are you such an illiterate person? Don't you understand simple? You are a very bad lawyer. I will tell all the people watching the program, do anything, but never hire him as your lawyer. The man doesn't understand the ABC of law.
I understand the law better than you. I understand the statutory body and the WAQF body has been constituted.
Okay, then tell me if you first of all don't get sensitive यार. मैंने तो अभी अटैक करना शुरू नहीं किया. मैं तो ये बोल रहा हूँ, the WAQF is a statutory body. It is not a representative body of Muslims. WAQF is not a religious denomination. अरे भैया, 1 minute. हर चीज में religion क्यों ला रहे हो आप? डराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं आप हर चीज में religion ला के. कैसे आप religion ला रहे हैं इसमें? इसमें रिलीजन का कुछ नहीं है.
बिल पेश किया है, उसके पहला इंट्रोडक्शन.
अरे आप समझ जाइए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में केस है. केस का नाम बताइए. Tell me the first of all, stop shouting. नहीं 1 minute, चिल्लाइए मत. अभी मैं क्विज क्वेश्चन करता हूं आपका. You tell me, लॉ पढ़ा है ना आपने? अच्छा, तो मुझे बताइए कि what are the 3 criteria laid down by the Supreme Court for a religious denomination, and which case is referred to in deciding whether WAQF is a religious denomination or not? Case का नाम बताइए.
I'll answer that. First, you tell me what is the definition of Article 26 of Indian Constitution?
No, why are you avoiding my question?
I'm not avoiding your question. पहले आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आर्टिकल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पहले आपको आर्टिकल 26 में क्या राइट्स दे रहा है. तभी आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट की.
I don't know कितने अनपढ़ आदमी हैं आप. अरे भैया, you have to first understand.
Ruling of Supreme Court.
अरे भाई 25 and 26, not just 25. No change. अरे भाई 25 and 26 बोलिए, अकेले 25 मत बोलिए. The changes which are suggested do not violate any of the fundamental rights guaranteed under 25 and 26 of the Indian Constitution. आप अनपढ़ की तरह बात मत कीजिए मेरे साथ, मेरे प्रोग्राम पे.
अनपढ़ की तरह बात कर रहे हैं आप. आधा परसेप्शन समझ रहे हैं.
मैं अनपढ़ नहीं कह रहा, मैं कह रहा अनपढ़ की तरह.
मैं आपसे बहुत क्लियरली कह रहा हूं अर्नब गोस्वामी जी कि आप आर्टिकल 26 की डेफिनेशन को समझिए, तभी आप जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट
आपको पूरी तरह से एक्सपोज करूं कि हाफ एक्सपोज करूं? बताइए आपको क्या चाहिए, पूरी तरह से एक्सपोज करूं? करूं? अच्छा तो मेरी बात सुनिए, फिर चुप रहिए 2 मिनट, फिर आप चुप रहिए 2 मिनट, पूरी तरह से आपके सामने आपको आईना दिखा रहा हूं। आई विल एक्सपोज यू नाउ। पता नहीं कैसे, आपको तो निकाल देना चाहिए, आप कहां पे स्पोक्स पर्सन बने अभी, आपको तो वहां से निलंबित कर देना चाहिए, आप कुछ भी नहीं जानते, बिना पढ़े लिखे मेरे प्रोग्राम पे आते हैं। 25(2)(a) बताइए, आर्टिकल 25 सेक्शन 2 क्लॉज A, which says nothing in this law will affect the operation of any existing law or prevent the state from making any other law regulating or restricting any economic, financial, political or other secular activity which may be associated with religious practice. पढ़ा है आपने? अभी आंख बड़ी बड़ी करके क्या बोल रहे हैं?
आर्टिकल 25(2) की बात कर रहे हैं, आपको समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है कि क्या बात कर रहा हूं मैं, आप बता क्या रहे हैं? I'm talking about article 26. You are quoting
He doesn't know the law. ये आदमी लॉ नहीं जानता है। कंचन दा, ये illiterate about the law.
Okay, I will ask you a simple question.
He's a very bad lawyer. कुछ जानते नहीं है। मेरे साथ डिबेट
करें। Can you please answer a simple question?
I'm sorry, आपको एक्सपोज करना पड़ा, चाहता नहीं था, करना पड़ा, करना पड़ा, करूंगा और करूंगा।
Getting witness to that. You are getting exposed, अर्नब भाई।
फंडामेंटल राइट नहीं जानते, लॉयर बन फिर।
अरे सर, आर्टिकल 26 पढ़िए, I was talking about आर्टिकल 26।
फंडामेंटल राइट्स नहीं जानते, लॉयर है।
You don't understand
पुल्ला doesn't know fundamental rights, he's a lawyer।
आर्टिकल 40, आर्टिकल 15, आर्टिकल 19 पढ़िए, जानिए, समझिए, डिबेट कीजिए। अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट की रूलिंग जो आप बात कर रहे हैं उसको समझना है तो that has to be seen in the perspective of आर्टिकल 26।
That is not a ruling, he is reading out from the constitution।
आपको समझ ही नहीं आएगी।
मैं तो 25 और 26 कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रीड कर रहा हूं, जिनके बारे में भाई साहब को कुछ पता नहीं है। पुल्ला कुछ बोलिए, पुल्ला, you've been a silent observer tonight।
Let me tell you, we agree, most of us agree with the nice pious sentiments you and my friends expressed. Yesterday there was a very bad scene in Kerala. Lots of people went and attacked many MPs' houses, saying, "I want to vote for the bill or not." I think you should refer to that also. And a very well-known MP had to, literally, he was not in the house. The Trivandrum MP and others, they went, "You Christians voted for you. Christians voted." Thousands of people went and mobbed.
But Christians are for the changes in the law.
You should paint them with the same brush as you're painting the others. They should not do this kind of
Christians are supporting
I don't know how it has escaped your attention. Yesterday they organized going to MPs' houses, and I agree that there should be no violence. We are all for the Constitution.
Did you ask the same question? One minute. Pulla, did you ask the same question when Congress leaders took a small calf, a baby calf, cut its neck in the middle of the road so that the blood could be oozing for a long period of time on a public street to attack Hindu sentiments? Did you ask the same question then?
The same condemnation. There is no change. What I'm saying is, what we have said, fine. We all believe in the Constitution. But they shouldn't do what they did yesterday. An organized political party leading people to houses saying, "I'm going to vote." It's not correct. Paint everybody with the same brush.
And also, Owaisi did, tearing the WAQF in the floor of the House, full frame. Tearing the amendment on the floor of the House. Look at that picture. Attention-grabbing tactic by Owaisi. That is all right?
It has been done before, Arnab. You know who.
Yeah, so it should be done again in the future, right?
I don't do it. They're doing it. They're getting, once the cameras have come into Parliament House, they're doing all kinds of things. Every party. You know that.
Okay.
I want to end one last thing. There's a small amount of levity I want to bring in.
I feel sorry for the opposition MPs today. They are despondent. They realize that from here, the journey ahead for them is going to be extremely uphill. This is an inflection point in our civilizational journey. All of these opposition parties had a golden opportunity to redeem themselves. Instead, they only exposed their obsession with minority votes. Instead, they realized that they have shown that they don't care for the upliftment of minorities. And therefore, today they are rattled.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have one last point to make tonight. I don't know if Priyanka Vadra was in Parliament. Was she in Parliament? I don't know. We didn't notice that. No, anyway, she was not in Parliament. She has participated in 3 debates. She's asked 0 questions. I'm not sure why she's in Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, her brother came in pajamas, slept through Parliament. I don't know why he's in Parliament. And when I'm back, why this is the biggest moment since the abrogation of 370. Remember, we are live tonight. It's going to be historic.
time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.